What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 19 of the Nightly Nonsense Podcast. I'm your host, Adam. I'm here with Dave and Chris. And I just said it there. Maybe I might be the host, but we do some show notes usually before, and Chris has kind of monopolized this episode. So I'm going to let my guy take it from here. We're going to kick it off with, just before we hopped on here, is telling us he got a haircut today and he doesn't love it. So, Chris, tell us about it.
So, I mean, I've gone through a lot of different hairdressers, barbers. I don't know what you call them. They've all one female. I've never had a male person cut my hair before. That's kind of weird to think about. But
I don't think I have either.
I had an amazing one growing up, and she was amazing. Her name was Amy, and I would drive back from college just to get my hair cut from her. Then we moved here, and I've still been trying to find one. I've hopped around to different ones, and then that you when you're in a pinch, you just gotta roll with sports clips, right?
Yep.
So I roll up the sports clips today because it was just getting way too long. And I got in there, and I feel like I have a good eye for it. I'm like, and there was 3 ladies in there, and I was like, don't give me that one. Don't give me that one. Don't give me that one.
Yeah.
I got her.
Yep,
and she must have just sensed me that I didn't want her because she butchered me. I mean, look at this. What is this?
Is that that's a major stray hair right there.
Yeah. And it doesn't, I can't put that back.
You might need to take that guy out.
Yeah, I think you should just take the scissors to it.
She just, I don't know. It was bad.
Not her finest work.
It kind of looks like a, what's that called on the back? It kind of looks like a front rat tail. You just got a
just a little side pony is all you got there.
Just a little stray shot.
Well, here's the deal, Chris. As bad as that may be, during the infamous COVID times of 2020, I once got a haircut from my mother.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and it was historic.
Yeah,
and when I say historic, we may have to show the picture on socials or something. You could take a 9-iron off the top of my head. It was
some thick rough.
It was a Howie Long flat top on my head. It went straight up. And then it went straight flat. I mean, it looked like you could lay something up there.
Did you ask for it, or do you think this is I've always wanted to try this haircut on? Did she cut hair?
No.
It was just
what was she doing?
Because
I needed a haircut,
and he didn't want to go to a spot.
There was no places really open at that time, or I forgot. I mean, it was fresh COVID. We're talking March, April 2020, and I needed a haircut badly. So I was like, Mom, here's some razor or whatever, those shears. And I'm like, let's get after it. And it's bad. It was really bad.
Safe to say she hasn't been hired for the job again?
Never again.
Listen,
as soon as something opened up,
it's all temporary.
Do you go to the same person every time?
No. Listen, I'll go ahead and admit it right now. I'm a Great Clips guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I go to Great Clips.
I will say one more thing, and then we got to move on because, like you said, I'm hosting today. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about, so I'm going to keep us on track.
Right.
I ghost. I'll sometimes have a little relationship with my hairdresser for 3 months, and if they get one cut that I don't like, I'll just ghost her. I'll just ghost them and go find someone else. It's a bad look.
When you say relationship, a romantic relationship, or what type of
just building up a rapport?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Shout out, real quick, shout out Zach. That's my barber. Been going to him since 2021. Great guy. Zach Roth.
Shout out. Dude, that guy listens every week. My sister's boyfriend. You want me to talk about it? Well, I'll tell you my thoughts. I feel like I've been very vocal on this man for every episode, or not every episode, but since we started this podcast, I don't like him. I don't like him one bit. And unfortunately, Adam, you as a Chargers fan now have him as your coach, and I can't stand the guy.
We lost Chris.
Oh, we lost Chris, the host. We lost Chris. But we'll keep talking.
We'll keep going. So, I mean, I didn't want him as the head coach. I feel like he's been out of the NFL for a while, though. He's been in the college game. I do think that the big 10 does play a much more pro style offense. But the NFL's even kind of getting away from that. I just think that similar to like you see Belichick leaving New England, and obviously he's Bill Belichick, but he's going to get another job. But I feel like he's an older guy and is just kind of out of touch with today's NFL. And even though Harbaugh was doing it at the college level with those younger guys, he can relate to those younger guys. I just don't know how it's going to translate over to the NFL. When you get into the NFL, like you see it a lot with players where they maybe are dominating at their school and then they come to the NFL and they're just a guy because everyone in the NFL was that guy that was dominating at their school. So I just don't know if he's going to be able to step in and just kind of run the table like he was doing at Michigan, because every week he's playing like you don't get a Rutgers or a team like, even the bad teams are competitive.
Good.
They're good.
Yeah.
Even like even though the Panthers were terrible this year, like you still have to prepare for the Panthers. Like Michigan, I firmly believe could like not practice the entire week leading up to Rutgers, and probably just because they're a more talented team can beat them. With all that being said, I do think he is a good coach. He's just not the hire I wanted. But here we are. He's who we got.
That's exactly what I wanted to clarify on that too. Just because I don't like the guy, I do think he's a good coach. Obviously, he's a good coach. He's won at every level. And I agree with what you're saying. I mean, I think he's going to come in and going to get a little bit of not a shell shock because he has done it before, but there may be a little bit of a transition period where he's going to have to prepare for each game pretty much at the same intensity or same level.
Yeah, which I'm sure he was doing in college, even though you're playing not a Ohio State level team every week. I'm not saying the guy wasn't doing his prep. It's just obviously it's different. You don't see recently you haven't seen too many guys come from the college level into the NFL level and had success, but he was a guy that was having success in the NFL, went to college, and now has come back. I do know, like I've read that he's a coach that like demands a lot from his players. Like he is a little bit of like Belichick in that sense, where a lot of what I read was Brandon Staley was almost like too buddy, not really that kind of player or that kind of coach. So you're bringing a guy in that's like, hey, I'm here to win. You guys can either get on board or you can get out. So I do think that'll be a good switch up in the locker room. I don't really know. Do you know, is he like an offensive minded guy? Is he a defensive minded guy?
I've always thought of him as an offensive minded guy, because when he became the coach,
he also played quarterback, so like it kind of
that usually goes hand in hand. But I know that like at Stanford, if you look at him historically, like at Stanford, he was offense with Andrew Luck, like that was his thing. And then when he had that really good running back too, what was that guy's name? Toby Gerhart. I don't know how I remembered that.
What a pull.
I know. And then he went to San Francisco, and San Francisco was looking for a change from Mike Singletary. And Mike Singletary was a defensive guy, played linebacker for the Bears.
Just you and me this week, Dave.
I know. The week that Chris is supposed to be host.
Our host couldn't handle it.
I know. But he came into San Francisco, and he had Colin Kaepernick, Frank Gore, Michael Crabtree played on those teams. So, dude, I'm just pulling out some names from the
Vernon
football.
Davis.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I think he's more of an offensive guy. I've always thought, like, when it comes to coaching football, like this has to be. I feel like NFL has to be a lot easier in some regards than coaching college, because you take the whole recruiting aspect out of it.
Yep.
Like you don't have to recruit. And so that frees up your off season. That frees up, your travel schedule. Like it has to be easier to coach in the NFL for that reason alone. Chris, what keeps happening to you? You keep going away, coming back, going away, coming back.
I was so excited to host, and now I can't even stay on here.
Dude, we've been getting some expert analysis.
A great topic. I hope there was a lot of great discussion about that.
There was a lot of good stuff. The one thing I'm going to end it on is I do think he needs to get his coaching staff right. I don't know if a lot of the guys are going to stay. If he keeps Kellen Moore, I personally don't want him to keep Kellen Moore, but he's got to bring in a good defensive coordinator because the defense was a much bigger problem this year than the offense. I'm already mad because every single mock draft I see has us taking a tight end with the 5th pick, which I understand Brock Bowers is unbelievable, but this team is not a tight end away from being a playoff team. I don't think any team in the history of football has ever been a tight end away from being a playoff team. So, but at the same time, last year I made like 4 different versions of mock drafts as we got closer to the draft, and I got more picks right than Mel Kiper, and he gets paid millions of dollars to do it. So who knows what's going to happen?
Yep. Exactly.
Electric.
Hi, Chris. Take us to the next, because you really gave a lot of insight there since you were in and out.
Yep. No, you guys had more insight on that than I would have been able to offer anyways. But when breaking news breaks, we're here to talk about it sometimes, and most of the time we're like 3 days late. But anyway, let's see. Dave put this one in here, and I'm really curious to hear what the thoughts are behind it. So, little insight behind the scenes for you guys out there, the listeners. We just throw topics into this list. It's just bullet points, and there's no background or context to these topics at all. So the topic is, am I the only one that feels so out of touch with the news?
That's me.
Oh, Adam.
I threw that in there, and because it stemmed from, so it was like 4:30 at work today, and I just get a Teams message, like a little group chat that we have in Teams from one of my coworkers that's just like, has anyone else seen what's going on with this hostage situation downtown? And I was like, how is it 4:00 in the afternoon? I was reading articles. It's been going on since like 8 a.m., which I guess maybe because I'm working, but like, it's happening in my city and I didn't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you just responded, sorry, Rebecca, I've been focusing on getting this product done today. Like, some of us are busy.
But like, ultimately, I think it's because like, I don't know. Do either of you watch the news, or like, do you get your news from like
Jerry News on Instagram?
So like, to be fair, I get so much of my news from Twitter and social media is so curated to what you are absorbing. Like, that's why I miss it, because
so you're getting like sports and
yeah, I'm not gonna get news articles or things like that. But I feel like because I also don't just like sit and watch the news, I hardly even know what's going on. Like, the most news I know about St. Louis is because I'm huge in like, I love all the like new restaurants. I love our food scene, and I follow a lot of like St. Louis local food bloggers. I'll let you know when like a restaurant's open up, but like I couldn't tell you like the death
when
count
there's a hostage
January.
Yeah. Well.
And on that note, we lost him again.
Here's my thing. So I have always kind of had, I don't know, like maybe it has to do with the profession I'm in or something, being a lawyer. Like, I don't know what the correlation with that would necessarily be, but I do kind of I feel like I pay attention to the news a little bit. Okay. Like, I'll look up, like, kind of in the morning when I get to work, like the things that I'll do before I start my day is run down, like, what's going on in the news. Yeah, I do sports. I look at the sports news, and then I look at the news, and then go from there. Now we have like, 2 Chris's.
Even what Boys Brunch was 2 weeks ago, like, you guys were sitting there talking about like, who do you like? Like, obviously it's going to be Trump. Who do you want him to be, like, for the Republican candidate, not win president, but like win? Like, who should his vice president be? And you guys are like throwing out names, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah.
You know, yeah. No. So like, I pay attention to that too. Yeah.
Like, politics is never something I've really, like, I feel like I need to know enough to be dangerous, like, so I don't sound illiterate if I got brought into a conversation, but I'm never like an active participant. Like, I can give my 2 cents real quick and be like, this guy knows a little bit, and then I just pop out.
Chris, you know there's 2 of you now. We either get none of you or we get
no. I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna write a letter to Riverside. I told you guys. I don't know what's going on.
You've been complaining about our software.
Yeah, I'm just not happy with it.
Well,
whatever. Let's keep going. Oh man.
Do you pay attention to the news, Chris? Yeah. You have to provide a little bit of insight.
Do you know what's going on in your local news scene, or even at that level on the national news scene? Do you keep in touch with the news?
Well, I do work for a newspaper company, so I'll read our digital, our e-edition every once in a while. The extent of my like news beyond that, national news is just like I have the Apple News like widget up on my phone, so I'll read like top headlines, which I know is like the worst thing you can do for news.
Yep.
But just in general, the system of news is broken, right? Like regardless of what platform you're listening to, it's content tailored to what you want to hear that aligns with your views, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So like really the thing that I go for nowadays is like when I can get a politician or mainly a politician that will just kind of speak candidly, and he'll be like, for all of you out there, this is Proposition J13. And what Proposition J13 means is blah, 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 blah. And he just like clearly like kind of talks about an issue. And he's like, and this is why it's bad for you as a citizen, because it blocks your rights or violates your rights to do this, this, and this. That is what the world is missing right now. And that I think can solve a lot of problems. Like I think if we hold every single politician accountable to be able to like get on social media and address people like with complete sentences and you know rational thought, and like not like very propaganda-esque like position statements and stuff like that, but just like, you're a human being, these are the facts, make up your own decision, and that's it. Like that's what I'm looking for as a citizen these days. And I don't think that's what the news affords in terms of like global news and things like that. Like an earthquake happened here, or there's a large fire, things like that I'll just get from that kind of stuff I get from social media usually.
Yeah. And social media has its negatives, but it is positive in the fact that there is like, for major stories like that, you at least will know something's going on if you see those things. Not like things that don't include any opinion, like an earthquake.
If a story is big enough, it's going to be all over my feed. Like every single account is going to post the same exact thing. So like those are like the major stories. But then the problem with that is, as a news consumer, is you start to rely on that, and then the stories that are kind of important that don't really break the threshold for like people are going to be engaged with it, like 330,000 people died in Syria today or something like that might not make the news, but it definitely should. That's what I think we kind of miss out on in today's world, because no one wants to sit down and watch the news. I don't know. I still put a lot of backing with 60 Minutes. I think 60 Minutes is good. I think they're strong.
Put in your 60 Minutes.
Dude, I like 60 Minutes too, because sometimes they do a little bit of like something that's interesting and like cool. Like I watched one like this. Like there was this musical artist, the genre of music, like blues music, like they did a whole story about like how blues music isn't around anymore, really, but there's this young and up and coming blues artist that's really good and people should listen to him. And so I was like, as somebody who does like have an interest in music, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And so then I watched the whole documentary about it. Morgan Freeman ended up being on there on 60 Minutes.
Shout out Morgan.
And then
the people's champion.
Exactly.
But if you think about how their model works, and I don't want to spend too much time on this topic, can you see how long we've been recording for so far? Because I can only see 2 minutes right now.
18 minutes, 30 seconds.
All right. Well, just real quick then, the model for 60 Minutes is that people will tune in once a week and commit that hour to watch, because there's a trusted interviewer that's going to talk about relevant topics, and that you feel like you're going to get at least somewhat of an unbiased opinion. And I feel like if the news outlets kind of stuck towards don't copy that, but just go towards that model versus the kind of throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks model that they have currently, I think people would be way more inclined to watch the news more often and things like that. But anyway,
last thing I'll say, the only complaint
please.
about 60 Minutes that I have, sometimes it can get a little boring, but on their presentation.
It can be, but sometimes that kind of stuff is boring, and you just gotta suck it up.
Sometimes you need a little boring. You don't need to make the news flashy all the time. Like Chris said, just a reputable reporter talking about things that are interesting to people. I don't need
I hear
all the
exactly.
flair and pizzazz all the time.
Exactly. It's like half the time you turn on the news and it's just like 6 pundits just arguing, and it's like I argue with myself enough. All right.
And then let's cut the commercial, and it's Whopper, double Whopper,
and BK. All right, let's quick update on the New Year's Rezzies, and then let's talk about Bills Chiefs for a second.
Yeah.
Dave, where
so
you at?
I have an update.
Yeah, actually, yeah, Dave, give your update, and I have somewhat of a problem with it, but go ahead.
Do you have a problem with it? So that's why I kind of for a little context, I texted the boys this week and told them I'm like, all right, here's the deal. I don't have to count this towards the New Year's resolution, but it is a series, and the whole New Year's resolution was to watch series. So the prequel. So we all know that I love Yellowstone. I've watched Yellowstone. That's one of the series I have seen. And so there's prequels to Yellowstone, 1883 and 1923. Right now, there's only one season of both of those. 1883 is one season and it's done, so they're not going to make another season for that. And then 1923, they are going to continue making seasons, but they only have one out. Well, in the past week, because the way I am and why I sometimes avoid watching series is that I get completely hooked on them and so I'll stay up until the wee hours of the morning because I can't stop watching shows.
Yep.
Well, in the last week, I did work and watched all 10 episodes of 1883 and all 8 episodes of 1923. So I presented that because they're only one season each, that those 2 seasons we could count as one series for me towards my New Year's resolution, especially because they're connected and there's a lot of, it's the same storyline pretty much between the two. So I think that should count as one series.
Yeah, we'll allow it. We will allow it, but the next one has to be one off the approved list, if that makes sense. And I'm gonna start working on a master list of every single movie and like good series that you have to watch, and then that will be the
Dude, you can't
list.
say that these aren't like good series. Like
no, they are good, but what I'm saying is like that is your comfort zone, and so you gotta go watch some of the stuff that we've recommended. Like some of these things, it's like I can't believe you haven't seen this. No one's going around saying, oh my God, I can't believe you haven't seen 1983. Like
1923.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You're right. No,
it hasn't topped the charts of like the socially, like this is, you gotta go see this.
It has to be like, have you seen Breaking Bad?
Right.
No, I know.
There has to be a significant like fan following to it. Yeah. So you haven't seen Breaking Bad?
No, Breaking Bad and
You'd like it. You'd like that for sure.
Game of Thrones are both on the list. I know, and I looked up this weekend. I'm like, Game of Thrones, this is what's going to happen to me.
Game of Thrones is a commitment.
I know, and I'm going to be like 18 days straight from the time I get off work until 2 o'clock in the morning watching episodes. I just know it already, and it's going to be terrible. But I'm going to love the show, but it's going to be terrible for me because I'm literally going to watch 8 hours every night for 2.5 weeks. I miss it.
I miss it.
That's good. That's what you need.
Yeah.
All right, Adam, where are you at?
I am on chapter 10 of my book.
Okay.
So I'm putting some work in.
Progress. I'm on chapter 8, so I flew through a couple chapters.
Nice.
I have to say it's essentially a children's book. Like
what is the name of it again? I forget.
It's the Pendragon series. There's like 3 series of it. It's been fun so far to read, and it's really easy to read, so I'm flying through it. But like the first paragraph was like, I can't believe it. I kissed Courtney Chatwin. And not just kissed, we full on made out. And they're just like high schoolers, and I'm just reading this like, okay. But the rest of it has been good. Like the storyline is pretty good. So I've been enjoying it, and we'll power through it, and it'll be a good first book to get under the belt.
That's like, to be fair, like Hunger Games, Harry Potter, like those are targeted towards younger audiences, and those books are phenomenal.
Yeah, The Lightning Thief is one of my favorite books of all time.
I've only seen the movies. I can't speak to the books on Harry Potter, but the movies are incredible, so I'm sure the books are. But like I read the Hunger Games series, incredible. Like a lot of the times those young adults, they hold up.
Yeah, never let your inner child die. That's what I always have to say. All right. That's great update. Good progress, everyone. Dave, I'll send you that master lift. Bills Chiefs, guys, did not disappoint. It did disappoint in the end because I was all over the Bills. I want the reign of the Chiefs to come to the end so bad.
Patrick Mahomes is inevitable. He's inevitable.
We need it. Lamar, please. If you're watching this, please.
Guys, I'm going to be
Lamar, if you're watching.
Guys. I'm on an island, and I know it. But I don't dislike the Chiefs. I've told it, and and this is a strain, especially in me and Adam's friendship. I feel like it could be a strain because he's so anti-Chiefs. It's unbelievable. But I watched the game and I wasn't bad. Like I don't care. Like I don't dislike the Chiefs whatsoever.
So it's funny because I had like a new guy at work that just started. I want like intro meeting with him, and then we were talking, and he told me that he's based out of the Detroit area, and I was like, "Oh, big Lions fan, I'm assuming." And he's like, "Yeah, do you like the Lions?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just a big sports guy, so like I can hold my own in pretty much any conversation." And then he was like, "You're from St. Louis, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Big Chiefs fan." I was like, "No." And then I went on for like 15 minutes about why I don't like them, and I could tell this guy was like, this was not the conversation I really wanted to get into. Like I am saying things like talking about like the fan loyalty, all like just so much
Yeah,
stuff that
you're
like
right.
the average just sports person when you're having a
Yeah.
conversation doesn't want. He's just like, okay, guy. But like I said it to him and I will say it, like I respect greatness. Like because I am a huge sports fan, like I respect greatness. Like I was never a Yankees fan. I wasn't the biggest Derek Jeter guy, but like I understand that is a great historic franchise and that is a great historic player. I understand what the Chiefs are doing is incredible. I understand what Patrick Mahomes is doing is incredible. I understand that this season would probably be like his he's already solidified his conversation as one of the great quarterbacks, but being like this will be his first one that people can't really be like Tyreek Hill was your best weapon. No other team has a Tyreek Hill. Travis Kelce, even though he's still an unbelievable tight end, like he hasn't been 100% this year. And Patrick Mahomes, the defense has been incredible. This is definitely the best defense that he's had. But like Patrick Mahomes is finding ways to win, whereas like the biggest knock about Josh Allen is like he can't get his team over that hump where Patrick Mahomes always seems to get his team over that hump. But I'm just sick of it.
I'm
Yeah.
over it. I'm out on it.
Like,
If I have
I
to
mean,
see
it was
Taylor Swift at
also
the Super Bowl, I'm going to lose my mind. Until Travis Kelce gets a single on one of Taylor Swift's albums, that's the only way this would be similar, is if Travis Kelce got to sing an entire song by himself on a Taylor Swift album. That would be like the football world infiltrating the Taylor Swift world. The Taylor Swift world has infiltrated the football world. And if I have to see it during the Super Bowl, I'm going to be very upset. I'm putting all my money on the Ravens this weekend. It's all I want is the Ravens to
get
bring them to an
behind.
end.
I can get behind the annoyance with the that I can get behind because I do think that watching games and them showing her pretty much every time the Chiefs do anything, it's like, what's Taylor Swift's reaction? Even if Travis Kelce doesn't make a play, they're showing her reaction,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that part's annoying. I can get
Show
behind that.
Rashid Rice's mom in the stands. Show a fan that's shirtless and painted his whole body and stayed out in -2 degree weather for the whole game. Show anything else, please.
Well, that
Every
was a
single
positive.
time they do the same thing.
Well, that was a
Touchdown,
positive
cut to
ricochet.
Taylor.
Positive ricochet of them showing Taylor Swift all the time was that we got to see Jason Kelsey shirtless,
man of the
We
people.
would have
pounding
seen that.
beers.
We would have
I was
seen
gonna, we
that
would have seen it, but
100%.
It was awesome. You
But
Well,
said
then-
yeah, that's great. I
like-
love hairy dudes with their shirts off, but
that was sick.
but
I
then
love
like
that.
That
even
didn't-
then even then like the number of posts I saw that was like Jason Kelsey in the background of this Taylor Swift photo. It's like, no, Jason Kelsey is what I'm looking at here. I don't care that Taylor's over here. It's Jason chugging beers, topless, supporting his brother.
Which was awesome.
just let the Ravens win. Please, Lamar.
Please.
Just
Please.
walk up there with some swag and just obliterate them. I'm putting
So
all
I
my
will
chips on
say,
them. I'll be very
I do
disappointed.
think the first half we saw that the Chiefs are very gettable on the run. But then in the second half, the Chiefs actually adjusted, stacked the box, and are like, we're gonna make you beat us through the air. And the passing game just wasn't there because I'm pretty sure they have a pretty depleted offensive line. They didn't have Gabe Davis, so the receiver core wasn't what it usually was. So like they couldn't adjust. Whereas the Ravens, they are a run dominant team. And I think they're going to be a little better and be a little more creative in getting the ball into their playmakers' hands if they rush for 150 yards in the first half. And then Spagnuolo is like, all right, we're going to stack the box, make them pass. They have a little more, because they're healthy right now, they have some more playmakers like Zay Flowers where they can get the ball in his hands in creative ways. Odell, even though he's older, not the guy he used to be, he's still prime for a big play every
He's
now and
always
again.
a threat. Yeah.
Like, especially in the playoffs, like when he was on the Rams, everyone thought he was washed up, and then he got into the playoffs and like he looked like prime Odell before he got hurt in the Super Bowl. So once again, I think this is just me trying to will it into existence because I just want it to happen so
it's
bad.
not will it into existence. You're exactly right. Listen, from everything I've seen, the Chiefs might be getting it done, but they don't have any heart. There's no heart in it. They're not finishing tackles. They're not gritty. They're not playing hard. The Ravens, when the Ravens tackle right now, it's like they're trying to tackle a demon out of your body. It's just a rough-nosed football. There's just, you can see the heart on the field, Dave. What do you want to say?
A counter to that is, I wouldn't say everybody on the Chiefs isn't showing heart. Like Isaiah Pacheco, that guy runs like he hates the ground. I think, Adam, you said it. He was running this weekend like a kid having a tantrum. Like, that's what he runs like. And so, no, and listen, I agree with you about the Ravens and their style of play. I think they are a hard-nosed, gritty team. And I think because of that, it's going to be a great matchup to see how they handle a guy like Isaiah Pacheco who has that same level of intensity running against them.
Yeah. I don't know. I already just know, like, I'm strapped in ready for the Ravens are up like 28-20 with a minute 30 left. Patrick Mahomes gets them down the field. They score a touchdown. They're still down 1. They somehow recover an onside kick. Patrick Mahomes like breaks 12 tackles, gets out of bounds. Harrison Butker hits a 65-yard field goal, and the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. Like, I'm fully prepared for it. Like, I'm prepared for it.
Harrison Butker, secret weapon. That guy's an automatic kicker.
All right, well, we'll talk about the NFL playoffs in our Anything Is Possible segment after this. Let's move on. The next topic is Chris's Conspiracy Corner, presented by the World Wildlife Foundation. I'm interested to know what you guys think this is, because it's not a conspiracy theory. So what did you guys think this is when I put it in the show notes?
Well, tell us what it was.
Phone time travel?
Yeah.
So,
like, I was just thinking, I'll provide what I think it was, because like you see pictures, like it'll be like a picture of like people celebrating like World War II, and then like what looks to be like someone holding a phone before phones like existed.
Okay.
So it's just like,
that's pretty close.
There's instances in the world where it's like, how did that get there? That wasn't around yet.
Okay, that's fair. I can see that. No, it's not it at all. So here's the question. I want you both you're both going to take turns answering.
Okay.
You get to have a fully charged iPhone.
Okay.
And you get to go back in time to either like ancient Egypt, or we'll say like medieval times. You have a fully charged iPhone when you get there. What is your plan? And how powerful do you think you could become with that iPhone at 100%?
Well, first of all, here's my very practical, reasonable answer. If you're going back to that time period and you have the iPhone in your hand, the iPhone's not going to be able to do anything. There's no one you can call. There's no one you can text. There's no internet to look up things on because
that's fair. Let's say you do have internet access though.
Well, so what's going to be on the internet?
You are operating just like as a person from the future, and you're going back and be like, look at what I have.
So my internet's going to be today's internet?
Today's internet, correct. And you don't have to tell anyone you have an iPhone. You could keep it completely secret. But remember, you only have one battery charge. So what are you doing? And how are you trying to use it to your advantage?
I mean, I would be able to look stuff up on the internet, how to like make things or invent things.
Sure, yeah.
Commonplace today.
Okay.
That would be easy to make or easy to do, but they haven't invented or haven't figured out how to do it yet, even though it's very commonplace today. And so I would probably make or do those things that are very easy to do and very easy
like
to look
what?
up. I don't know. Like what's something that's easy to make or easy to do?
I don't know, but remember, you only have 100% charge. So if you do want to make something, you have to write all the instructions down before your phone dies.
How far back do I have to go? Like, can I pick my own time period?
It's gotta be back before, let's say before steam engines. No.
Like I can't go to like 1920.
Nothing in the 19s. Not no. You got to go way back.
1883? Oregon.
Sure, you can pick your
original-
time period. What I want to know is I want to hear your thinking on what your plan is. What's step one? What's the first thing you're trying to figure out? What's the first thing you're writing down so you don't forget it? What's your plan?
Dude, I mean, I don't know.
know because in that era, like, I could be the smartest guy. I could come in with all the stuff, but like, if I'm just a guy, like, I'm just a guy, you know?
Like
the
what do you think,
royal
like,
family's not going to be like, this guy's smart.
Here's your answer.
Like, if I go back to the medieval times, they'll just be like, witch, off with my head.
They could do exactly.
So that's
Then
where you have to be
about it.
strategic about it. It's like, what are you coming in with? So, like, I think I would potentially go back to, like, I don't remember who attacked who, but when they hid in the giant wooden horse.
The Trojan horses, yeah.
Yeah, like I would go back to whoever they attacked and been like, yo, there's dudes in the horses. Like, just
Okay,
trust
but
me
you
on
have
this.
that knowledge. You could just tell them that without a phone. You don't need a phone for that.
Well, I guess that's true. But then, like, if anything,
I'm gonna go back.
so
and
it's something
start
I
mixing,
need a phone for.
I'm gonna start mixing up medicines and then make all these medicines and cure all these people, and they're gonna think I'm God. I'll be like, I made this medicine for you.
See, but you have to get your hands on the merchandise.
Yeah, where are you going to get your product from? So you basically have to write down this medication and instructions and ingredients, and then your phone dies, and you hopefully go out and find those. Or do you prioritize trying to somehow?
Because the problem is, you could even go in and be like, some like mathematics or science, like, you have it all right there on your phone, but then when they like ask you to explain more, I got nothing. Like, all I did was just write it down. Like, just trust me, this is it. Like,
right?
I can't like back myself.
I mean,
so like my original plan with this was like I was gonna use it to like leverage like lottery winnings, like sports betting. But since you told me I have to go back further than that,
you're way back where they're like probably not going to believe you when you say most things because it sounds too far off. It's a tricky predicament because if you want to build something, you have to find the materials.
Do you have a thought?
I'll make pizza. I'll be the first guy to make pizza. I don't know.
That's a great plan.
I said something a second ago about being the bread maker. Yeah, beer, bread.
Those are great. I would definitely get into those industries. I think those are really strong industries to get into back then if you have the now's technology and knowledge.
What's your answer, Chris? What would you?
I don't know. My first thought,
and then I'll just be independently rich.
My first thought was I'm going to turn the phone off and start seeking elements and the materials that I need to A, build a battery, and B, build a phone charger. Because if I have the phone forever, that changes the game.
You need a couple cords and a potato.
So I have to hope that I have somewhat knowledge. So I'm probably thinking, I probably need to get some copper. I probably need to get some, probably maybe some tin or some, I don't even know what goes into a phone charger. I'd probably look it up real quickly, the materials that are made in a phone charger, shut that off, spend the next 3 years trying to acquire those materials, turn it back on, write down the instructions for how to build it just in case it does die, and then start to try and build it. And I'll turn it on in increments to like check my progress or make sure I'm doing things right or like check a question.
I think I'm just going to plant the phone on my enemies to get them beheaded. Be like, they're a witch.
Ding, 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 ding.
Back then onto the next guy, witch.
Ding, 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 ding. He's a witch.
I don't know, dude.
What is this guy making noises?
It's a good question.
That's actually a good question because, like I said, like, yeah, I could go back and be like, this is pi. And they'd be like, prove it. I'd be like, here are the numbers. Like,
yeah. I mean,
if they actually ask like any inquisitive questions, I'm screwed.
You could go back and you could just be a plagiarizing dog and just release like Odysseus before
that's
anyone
also
else.
What I thought I was like Harry Potter. But
right.
I'm going way back. Not a book about a wizard would not go over well back in those days.
No. Yeah, you could.
But I think it would have to be like food.
It has to be something tangible to that time.
You could probably comprehend, like, get dangerous enough and learn enough to have like a rudimentary level of like farming that you could help farmers like change the game. I feel like it has to be really those like old
Like
school
food
textiles
related.
and stuff.
Basic pulleys and levers and things like
Yeah,
that.
like I can't
Basic
come in
mechanical
here and be
engineering.
like, all right, guys, electricity.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
I got this light bulb here.
I don't
They'd be
though.
like,
I just
"What
have a
is
phone that can teach us how to make it. You know?
I have this knowledge box.
Yeah.
And it can
Trust
tell
me,
me
it
anything.
says it on my box.
But could that in itself be exactly what you need? Because everything started with a theory. So you could be like the guy who invented the theory of relativity.
Yeah, but then if it was up to me, like that's where something started, then be like, oh, what's your next brilliant idea? I'll be like, hot dog's a sandwich. Let's run with it.
All the stuff that they invented at the 1904 World's Fair
Yeah.
in St. Louis. I got the waffle cone.
2 + 2 = 17. We trust this guy. He already showed us all this other stuff, so then I just screwed math, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Forever.
I mean, if you go back to ancient Egypt, the printing press would be a pretty good one to come up with. And I don't think that would be that difficult to build. And then you institute a guerrilla marketing campaign where you're putting up flyers all over the place. And it's like, do you want to be a millionaire? Call this guy. And they're like, what's a call? And you're like, never mind. Come find me. I'll be here.
Oh, man.
I am at the point when the sun is at its highest underneath the tree to the left.
I can solve all your problems.
Yeah.
Wild
all right,
thought experience.
all right, show me your rash. That's syphilis. Yep, just a fun little thought experiment. All right.
That's crazy.
What's our time?
That's
What's our time marker at right now?
We're sitting at a
41.
solid 40 minutes.
Perfect. All right. This is Let's Learn Sports, presented by Fanatics. If you're looking for a jersey, if you're looking for socks with Christian McCaffrey's face on it, if you're looking
Sure.
for
It's a handsome man.
if you're looking for a t-shirt to sleep in of the team that you hate or something like that, I don't know. Whatever you're looking for, if it
your
involves
Ravens
sports
gear,
and
if
it
you're
involves
looking for your
clothing,
Ravens
Fanatics
gear.
got it. Change up this week because I'm not going to be learning sports. I'm going to be testing two brilliant baseball minds on their sports, and boy, do I have a doozy for you
And
guys.
change up there. Look at you with rolling
I
off the
know.
sports puns right off
Real
the
good
bat.
pun.
So, what I'm going to ask of you guys
I'm excited
today,
for this.
if you can, and
I'll be
I'll be.
exposed as fraud.
Don't forget that we are undefeated in this.
Yeah.
I am at this point undefeated in this so far. So don't let me down.
You as an individual.
By position, can you give me the home run leaders by position?
So just the player that has the most home runs at that position.
Correct.
Are we going 1 through 9? Is this including pitcher?
All positions and bonus
Ooh.
points, triple bonus points if you can get the actual home run number correct.
Oh.
Oh,
That'd be
well,
crazy.
That's going
All
to be a
right.
little.
So
I feel like we'll start with catcher.
Mike Piazza,
They're in order. It goes
right?
catcher first, second, third, short, left field, center, right field, pitcher, pinch hitter. So we'll start with
Pinch hitter.
catcher.
DH is on there.
DH.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you that first one because you got it.
Mike Piazza.
Yeah, Mr. Pizza.
Nice.
All right.
All
I
right,
was
now-
actually between him and Johnny Bench, so I'm glad.
Now
you
we go.
said it.
Now we go to the one bag.
Well, it could be Albert. He had 702.
So other guys with 700. A-Rod, not first base. Hank,
No.
not first base. Babe Ruth, maybe,
Nah.
but not a dedicated first baseman. So yeah, we're gonna go Albie there.
Yep,
Albert
702.
Pujols is correct.
Is
And
it
the number
702?
is 703.
Oh! I
No
missed the
triple
last
points.
one.
No triple
Oh.
points. Wow, that was close though. All right, we're at second base now.
Okay.
Second base. Let's see. All-time great second baseman.
So I feel pretty good about second base being Jeff Kent.
Oh wow. Okay. I mean, who else could it be? Like Joe Morgan didn't hit a lot of home runs, and he's an all-time great.
Not a
second-
position that's known for
No.
that power. I feel good
Chase
about
Utley?
Jeff Kent.
Chase Utley could be one too. We can go Jeff Kent. I don't.
Jeff
have a-
Kent is correct. 377. You guys are steamrolling this. I'm getting a little nervous. All right, third base.
Third base. You said A-Rod.
Yeah, I feel
That
like
was his
it.
primary position.
Yeah.
So A-Rod is the go-to there.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
So it must have been
Lock in
a
here.
lot. They must have had a lot of his at shortstop.
Shortstop. So third baseman. Well, we have like
Mike
Mike
Schmidt.
Schmidt. Yep. Mike Schmidt.
I'm just trying to think of guys that
the
have
George
hit
Brett.
300
George hit
or 500.
Adrian Beltre.
I don't think Beltre hit. He had 3,000 hits, but I don't think he had 5,000 home runs. Miguel Cabrera spent most of his career at first base, not third base.
Yeah. It could be.
Can we skip the third base and come back to it?
Yeah, because I feel like because Adrian Beltre didn't get to 500, but he was close. And
I feel like
Schmidt,
I'm pretty sure has over 500,
and he's usually considered the best hitting third baseman.
Yeah,
because fun fact: Scott Rowland was like only the 9th third baseman to make the Hall of Fame, and Scott Rowland only had like 300 something home runs.
It's an odd position.
Mike Schmidt, I think, had like 515, 520.
The numbers are where I'm gonna struggle, so that's where I'm gonna need you. But I feel good. We could fire off Mike Schmidt.
The problem is Brooks Robinson was known for playing
not a power hitting guy.
Yeah, and defensive third baseman.
Mike Schmidt. You want to fire off a Schmitty?
Yeah, let's do Mike Schmidt.
Mike Schmidt is correct with 548 home runs.
48.
Okay. 48.
Shortstop, boys. We're cruising.
So again, A-Rod.
I feel like if he
split too much,
I feel like if he wasn't at third base, I feel like that's where he would have to be.
Yeah, but
how many years did he play with the Yankees? Because he had a lot of years with the Mariners and Rangers, and he didn't switch to third base until he got to the Yankees.
Well, he went to the Yankees in 2002, 2003.
Did he hit 500? Did he hit his 500th as a member of the Yankee? I feel like he didn't hit 200 home runs as a Yankee.
I feel like he hit number 500 with the Yankees.
So that gives him 400 plus before he got there, which another position that's not known for, and up until more recently, power hitting position. The only guy I could think of is Ernie Banks.
Oh, that's a good guess. I would not have even thought about it.
If it's not A-Rod, but I feel like with A-Rod's I feel like it's A-Rod.
Yeah, Cal Ripken Jr., did he hit a lot?
I feel like he wasn't a homer. I feel like A-Rod had more homers from the position of shortstop over the course of his career than Ripken had.
Okay. All right, let's go A-Rod.
Dude, so A-Rod's not on either. Then can we go to that outfield before we do shortstop? Because I feel comfortable in the outfield. Barry Bonds played left field, right?
Barry Bonds has to. Yeah, Barry Bonds. Left.
Check left field.
Willie Mays in center
762.
Field.
Willie Mays
in center field. Yep.
Check. Correct. 660.
And then,
did Hank play right or did Hank play left?
Shoot. I don't know. Dude, we also just rattled Willie Mays, which we were right on Willie Mays being center field, but Ken Griffey Jr. could have been center field.
But Willie has 700, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, but he also played.
No, 660.
Yeah, because
then that one's a little closer than I probably would have liked it to have been. I just felt so confident in it.
I know, me too.
I mean, right field's either Babe Ruth or Hank Aaron. I don't know if...
And Hank Aaron played some first base at the end of his career.
But I feel like Babe Ruth probably did too.
Well, Babe Ruth was a pitcher at first. Dude, Hank Aaron's got to be on this list.
It's by position, though. So if Hank Aaron played left field, then we're screwed.
I think he played right field.
You want to fire
His
it off?
his autograph is right here on this little card. I could look up there and see what position it says.
No, that's cheap. It probably just says outfield.
Right. All right, let's go, Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron is correct with 755.
755. Okay, so he hit them all out there.
All right,
so then shortstop.
And DH.
And pitcher.
So do we think pitcher is Babe Ruth?
It should be. Because he hit a lot.
Go with whatever you...
We're not going to fire that off yet, but I feel like that's who it's going to be.
I feel like it is too.
But DH, I think from the sole position of DH, it's David Ortiz.
David Ortiz, yep.
Correct. 541.
Yeah,
two left, one strike.
He is so David Ortiz is the best DH.
So we have pitcher and we have shortstop.
Shortstop.
The shortstop.
So shortstop, I feel like, and A-Rod was incorrect.
Yeah.
So you said Ernie Banks, and I said Cal Ripken Jr. But because again, historically, not a big power position,
Mm-hmm.
and Cal Ripken did have over 350 home runs. I don't know how many Ernie Banks had though.
I don't either, and I can't look it up because that's cheating.
What do you want to do? You decide.
No, I don't like that.
Okay. I think we should do Cal Ripken. I feel good about Cal Ripken.
Do we want to lock in Babe Ruth at pitcher?
Let's lock him in at pitcher.
Okay. Babe Ruth, most home runs as a pitcher. No!
No! Who was it?
Oh,
I'm gonna.
Wes
Is it
Farrell?
I've never even heard that name before.
And
how many?
Cal Ripken was correct for shortstop.
Okay.
Was it 350, like 355, somewhere in there?
Cal Ripken had 431.
Oh, wow. Okay. He had
That's more than I thought.
Yeah. Wow.
Wes Farrell, and he only had 38 home runs at pitcher.
Wow. Okay.
Ernie Banks must have played some one bag late in the career because Ernie has 512 home runs total, but it shows him as a first baseman and shortstop. So he must have played some late one bag.
Wow.
Here we go. Games by position. That's what I want. Yeah, he stopped playing shortstop. He played 19 seasons, and he played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This also says for the purpose of
9 at shortstop and 10 at first base.
For the purpose of this article, a player must have at least 2/3 of his games at a position in order to qualify as its leader.
So
any
that's
player who
probably
played
what
at least
screwed
2/3
A-Rod.
of his career in outfield, regardless of specific outfield position, qualified in the outfield spot at which he played the most.
Okay. Wow.
But that was good, guys. You did really well. I mean, you were tossing around names I've never even heard before. So that was impressive.
Dude, I do feel like we did pretty well.
Yeah.
That was good. It went quicker than I thought, which is going to keep us on track for time here. For the lyric battle, Dave, give us a SeatGeek promo.
All right. So the lyric battle is brought to you by SeatGeek. Your spot for getting all of your sports tickets, your comedy show tickets, maybe even your movie tickets one day. Not yet, but possibly one day. And concert, I said concert tickets. No, I didn't. Concert tickets, comedy shows, sports, whatever you need, go to SeatGeek to get those tickets today.
Beautiful. All right.
So, hold on. Looking at this, at the show notes, at the end of episode 18, I did update those. So the 8, 8, and 4 is correct. It's not the 10, 9, and 4.
Oh, okay, good. I was going to say, when I looked at that, I was like, I am so far behind.
No, we left last week. Chris and I tied you at 4.
Okay. So
I was like, I know I'm not 2 away from a win because 2 episodes ago I was at 4.
Yeah.
And I haven't gone sweep.
I need a sweep. And
You
I
do.
don't.
In the worst way. In the worst way.
I think it's safe to say I could be eliminated almost if I don't get at least 2.
I will say, Dave, you have the potential for a clean sweep here.
All right. Well, I don't know.
That's
what
not
that
me
means.
doubting Adam in any chance. I just think Dave will have good knowledge of these songs. So he
Okay.
does have potential to go 3 for 3.
All right, Adam. We'll pack a lunch, baby.
Adam won. So Adam gets to choose whether he wants to go first or second.
I'm feeling spicy. I want the ball.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Might be a good choice. We'll see how it pays off. The first word is Revin.
Revin?
Revvin.
Revin. I got nothing. I'm not even going to try and fire something off.
All right. I think I might have it. Go ahead.
All right. The
You
second
spicy
word is
dog.
up.
Revving up the highway. Da-da, da-da. Looking for the da-da, da-da. That song?
Nope.
When you said up, it ruined
Get
my
your motor running.
Looking for
Head out on the
adventure.
highway.
That one, yeah.
Looking for adventure. Oh, whatever comes my way. All right. The next word is your.
I'm sure it's like revving up your engines, but I don't know like the tune or any of that.
Okay.
All right.
That's a pass.
Yeah, that's a pass.
All right. Next word is engine.
Right.
Revving up your
Right.
engine.
I knew it.
Revving up your engine. Revving up your engine. I should know this.
This does seem like a Dave in your wheelhouse song. I'm not feeling good about this one.
Okay. I'll skip.
It's a pass. All right. The next word is listen.
Revving up your engine. Listen to hear what the next word is, please.
All right. Listen to.
I know it. I went to this guy's concert with my dad, but I don't know how it sounds. I know the song, but like
What's
I
the
know
song?
the name of I know the name of the song.
We've been playing recently here. If you can get artist
Yeah.
and song title,
And
we'll
if you
give
can
it to
and
you.
if you can
It's-
sing a little bit of it. Yeah.
Well, it's Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins.
Revving up your engine, listen to a howling roar.
Damn.
Metal under tension, begging to the touch and go.
Highway to the danger zone.
Good song. Good song.
Da-da-da-da.
Good win. All right.
Highway to the danger zone.
I hate when you sing it, and I'm like, how did I not get it? And
Yeah.
I'm sitting
Yep.
here just revving up your engine. Listen to.
All right. This one's going to be either really easy or it's going to be a stumper.
Okay,
Dave's
go
got the
first.
first word here. Dave, the first
Yep.
word is tumble.
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 I'm going to skip because I
Okay,
got
all right.
nothing right off the bat.
Adam, the second word is outa. Outta.
Tumble outa. Tumble outa. I got nothing. Go to the next word.
All right. The next word is bed, Dave.
Tumble out of bed. All right. No.
All right. It's a pass. The next word is and. Big helper word here.
Tumble out of bed, turn my swag on. Took a look in the mirror and say, what's up? Yeah.
All right.
I knew that wasn't it, but that's where my mind was, so I had to fire it off.
Dave, the next word is I. Tumble out of bed and I.
I know it, but I also
Tumble
don't.
out of bed and I.
Yep.
I don't. Go next.
All right. Adam, the next word is stumble.
Tumble out of. I thought I had it. No, I don't.
Okay.
Tumble out of bed and I stumble.
Dave, the next word is to.
tumble out of bed and stumble to. I don't know. Pass.
All right. Adam, the next word is the.
I don't know the name of the song, and obviously we'll see if it is it and I get the tune right, but like all I have in my mind is like the tumble out of bed and I stumble to the
Tumble out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, and I yawn and stretch and I try to come to life. He got it. That's a win. That's a win.
Is it? Wait.
Yeah, he had the melody down.
I'm a hard nose.
No.
Wait, hold on.
No,
what?
he doesn't have it. He
Tumble
doesn't.
out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen.
No,
then I don't know what's after that.
Oh,
He
my
doesn't
God. I
have
thought he
it.
had it. Okay,
He
well.
doesn't.
Well, now
The
Dave
next
has
word
it.
is kitchen. No, he doesn't have it.
Yeah, I do. Tumble
Okay.
to the bed and I stumble out the kitchen. Pour myself some.
To be fair, that's as much as I have.
All right, there you go, Dave. Dave got it.
I'm working 9
Dang,
to
Adam,
5.
I really thought you had that.
I thought I did too.
9 to 5, Dolly Parton, lock it in.
How you had the melody right though on the
I
first.
know, and then I just didn't have the right song. What
Here,
followed?
in like to make you feel better a little bit, Adam, when you sang the melody before Chris started going down the whole path, like when you did that, I was like, oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, I knew you had it, and I said like I didn't know the actual song, but I knew that, but I wouldn't have been able to. You having the song and artist because like you sang it and then you did all of the same things I did, but then you actually knew what song it was.
Yeah,
We'll give it to Dave. I really thought Adam had it, but Dave got it.
Thank the Lord.
To barely make a living.
Yeah.
All right.
What song did I think it was?
International
Harvester.
Similar.
All right. This one is hard.
Beautiful.
Love
This will be the one we get first two words, like with Gangster's Paradise.
Exactly.
So to Dave.
No, to you.
To me. That's right. I received.
Are you going?
I don't know. This might be too hard. I might have to get it. All right, we'll try, but I think it's going to be too hard.
Do you have a backup in case we don't get it within? Like
I
10?
do. Yeah, I do have a backup.
All right. We'll
All right. The first word is one.
One is the loneliest number that you ever knew.
Good guess.
Two could be as bad as one, but the loneliest number is the number one.
Beautiful. Dave, the second word is two.
Like the number 2 or like TO?
TWO.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. 5, 6, 7, 8.
No, that's
Adam.
Adam. The third word is princes. PRINCES.
My guess was gonna be 1, 2 step. Let me see you 1, 2 step. But 1, 2 princes. I got nothing on 1, 2 princes.
All right, Dave. The fourth word is kneel.
I have no idea.
1, 2 princes kneel.
Yeah, pass. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, I just played it out loud a little bit. All right. The next word is kneel.
You already said kneel.
gave me
Is
that
it
one.
double
Okay,
kneel? 1,
sorry,
2 princes
nope.
kneel?
Nope. The next word is before.
1, 2 princes kneel before. Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay. Dave, the next word is you.
1, 2, princess kneel before you.
That's what I said now.
Wow.
Princess who adore you. Just go ahead now.
That's 2 princes is the name of the song. I don't know who sings it. It's like some.
Dave with the clean
See if you can get it,
sweep.
Dave. See if you can get it. Lock onto it. See if you can get the artist too.
1, 2 princes kneel before you.
That song came out in like the 90s or like. Isn't that like
You want me to play another song by them?
it's no, I think I know who it is. It's the what's the name of that group? It's like two guys. The Spin Doctors?
Yeah, nice,
Yeah.
Dave.
Boy,
That's good.
Dave.
Yeah.
You earned that sweep.
Wow.
Look at there. Look at there.
Wow.
He needed it and he got it.
He's back in the game.
I am back in the game.
I didn't blow it on purpose, but I want to pick songs. I like
People are
picking
saying
songs, but I
that
blew it. I did not blow it on purpose.
People are saying the
beat me.
lyric battle is scripted.
Who's saying that it's scripted?
That's just what the people are saying. They're saying the refs
people are
and
saying
everybody's
it?
in on it.
Oh my gosh, there's no way.
But it's 8,
Did they
8,
not
7.
watch-
Adam's got 8, Chris has got 8, and Dave's got 7 right now.
the people who are saying it's scripted, did they watch the episode like 2 weeks ago with me and Adam, and when we were like, what is this?
Yeah, no one actually said that. No one watches this, and no one says anything about us ever.
Not
The people have said it's scripted.
There are people. There are people.
Beautiful.
All
Good
right.
lyric battle, guys.
Good timing today too, to Chris.
Excellent.
Yeah, let a
There you
phenomenal
go.
show. It was nice sitting back and just enjoying, not
Yeah.
having to watch the clock, not just kind of really just settle in, just give my takes and get out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know if I earned another shot at it though. I was in and out way too much today, but
the flow didn't stop.
No.
flow didn't
You
stop.
set
That's
you
all that
set us
matters.
up for success, and that's what a good host does. So that a boy, Chris.
Exactly. Proud of
As
you.
always, people, thank you for tuning in. It's Nightly Nonsense.
I'm a beautiful butterfly.
See you.
The same.
Oh.